Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mel and I'm a fashion blogger from Massachusetts and I love fashion, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I'm actually bringing you with me to work where I'm going to be covering a shift at the consignment store that I used to work at, and I figured it'd be really fun for us to look at really cool clothes together. If you're new to this channel, hello. You might not know that I used to work at a consignment store and I used to manage all of their inventory. It was super fun. I loved working there. Essentially, I was responsible for a lot of the intake, which essentially means picking the items that get to be sold at the store. And I was also responsible for pricing, tagging, steaming, hanging every single item of clothing that came through that store. So I have a lot of knowledge about fashion, which is pretty cool. I haven't worked there in a few years, but today I'm going to be covering a shift for somebody, and I was really happy that they asked me to do that. So I figured I would take you along with me so you can see what it's all about and why I have so much fun when I do it. Before we get into it, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so you can follow along every single time that I make a new video, which is usually one time per week, sometimes two, like this video is a bonus one. It's like we can be talking about fashion all the time together, which I think would be really fun. Without further ado, let's get into it. We have to start every video with an outfit of the day and a polar seltzer. Those are my absolute favorite. You'll notice all those pink and black bins behind me and next to me. That is all the inventory that I'm going to be pricing today. I will say my battery runs out before my shift is officially over, but you'll get the gist of everything that I'm doing today. Every bin comes with a consignor slip, so I essentially enter the person's information into the system. Some of them are returning consignors, some of them are brand new. There's a different system for each of them. I'm taking every item that are in these bins. I look up the brand, I look up the pricing. Sometimes the computer will tell me a suggested price for how I'm supposed to price it, but not always do I have a suggestion. So a lot of times I'll have to go and do my own independent research through Poshmark or eBay just to make sure that we do price it appropriately so it can be something reasonable for the next owner, the next person who's going to be buying this to have. A lot of people will ask me, how do you stop yourself from buying so many clothes when you work here? And the answer is that I don't. I definitely see a lot of inventory that comes in, but I will say every now and then, and very often, I do see a lot of items that it is that I want to buy. At the end of this shift, I did put aside a couple items for myself to buy. You might have seen me finding and trying on those cowboy boots. I definitely would have bought those if they were my size. But so many cute things come to the store. It's honestly so fun to look at everything. I always tried to picture the person that had consigned these items because honestly, everyone has such a different style or such a different vibe overall, and the things that they consign to the store, I think it really shows something about them. But this store is a single small independent store right now. It's not a Buffalo Exchange or a Plato's Closet or anything like that, but it is very similar. The demographic of the shopper that they're trying to find and get the clothes from and sell to are all very similar. It's people usually anywhere from their early 20s to late 30s. That's kind of like their prime demographic overall. It is located in a college town, so we do get a lot of college students and people in their early 20s that come and shop. But also it's very residential at the same time. So again, we do get a lot of people who are around my age in their 30s. So overall, I feel like there's a really good mix of styles, and there's honestly something for everyone here. So here you can see I'm just pricing the last few items that are in this bin, and now it is empty. So I break down the bin, put it aside, and now's the time where I start to hang everything up. Essentially, after I'm finished completing each consignor, it spits out a bunch of tags for me. Before I tag the items, I line them up in the order that I had entered them into the system. And the thing I like about this consignment store is that they don't require for you to bring hangers in like a lot of consignment stores do. And all of their hangers are consistent, so it gives it a really nice cohesive feel. I typically hang the items after each bin is completed, and then I usually wait until there's about 2 or 3 bins before I actually tag everything, which I will show you in today's video how I do that. But pretty much when I run out of hanger space is when I start tagging. But you can see from some of the items here that the season is late summer / early fall. So at the time that I was filming this, they were still taking a lot of light and flowy dresses, shorts, tank tops. As I'm posting this a couple weeks later, the styles have changed because it is officially fall. People aren't looking for summer items anymore, even though it is still kind of warm outside. This consignment store does take things seasonally, and I know a lot of other consignment stores aren't necessarily like that, but this consignment store takes for the current season. So if it's fall right now, they want fall items, and they'll always post on their Instagram and their website of what season and what type of items it is that they're looking for. So So my suggestion to people is that if you're looking to consign, whether it be at this store or anywhere else, make sure you look at their website, their Instagram, maybe go in person to get a really good feel of what they're looking for, because you want to make sure that the items that you're bringing are the items that they're going to be taking so that you have a better chance of them taking more of your stuff. A lot of consignment stores don't have storage anywhere in the back or in the basement. Pretty much what you see on the floor is what they have in stock. So you don't want to be bringing in things that are summer when it's winter and vice versa. They really want to sell right now. And typically with any consignment store, they have a specific consignment period. The one that I'm working at in this video has a 60-day consignment period. So you bring in your items, they take a look at them, they'll actually price them usually within like 24 hours. They're so quick, and they'll be on the floor that day or even the next day. At the end of that 60-day consignment period, you can then pick up your items. A lot of other consignment stores will offer you a check at that time, but this particular consignment store actually lets you pick up a check anytime that you want to, which is awesome. Other stores like Plato's Closet or Buffalo Exchange will actually pay you up front for your items. So just make sure to do your research before bringing your consignment items anywhere. If you're looking for an immediate payout, maybe a Buffalo Exchange or a Plato's Closet could be a really good option for you. But a lot of those smaller independent stores can actually give you more for your clothes if you are willing to wait. The consignment process at this store is really cool, and honestly, it's all that I'm familiar with, which is why I'm talking about it so much. But a consignor who wants to come in doesn't even need an appointment right now. They can actually bring up to 40 items per consignment period, and that adds up. That's a lot of clothes. Typically around like the late summer to fall months when this is being filmed, 40 items will fill up 2 really big like Marshalls or TJ Maxx bags. You might know the ones that I'm talking about. So it really helps when you do like a massive closet clean out. You can just bring all of them in, and depending on what it is that you bring in, they want inventory. So if it matches their style overall, then typically they will take it. How you can help yourself get more items taken is essentially by taking a couple precautions before you actually go in. I already mentioned this, but just make sure you know what season that they're taking, what type of style that they're taking. Usually any consignment store can and should have the different brands that they take, the season that they're taking right on their website or on their Instagram. If you're not sure, you can always call and ask, or even go visit the store to get an idea of what it is that they're looking for. After you know that information, put your items together. Make sure you look them over thoroughly so that there's no rips or stains or pilling. Consignment stores want items that are in good condition. They don't want to sell raggedy old clothes to people because that's not how they're going to make money. They want items that are in near new or even new condition. And it's okay that they look a little secondhand. I think the expectation from shoppers is that they are worn. They just can't look worn or essentially falling apart. You also want to make sure that your items are clean and not smelly. I will tell you, smell is a big reason why we don't take a lot of items. So if you have like a cigarette smoke smell or even a pet smell, just wash the items before. It's not personal if they don't take it. They're not saying that you smell bad. It's just that when you steam the items, all the smell usually comes out, which if you do that at home, that's obviously an added bonus. But when I steam the items after I price all of them, I always get hit in the face with all these random smells that honestly aren't very pleasant. Honestly, all smells aside, it is a very fun job. You can see here is when I start tagging the items. Essentially, the computer system will print out stickers for me. I take those stickers, I put them on a tag, and then I hang the tags on the items. There is a very specific way that I'm supposed to be tagging them. And I have to make sure that the pricing barb, it's like a little plastic thing, doesn't go through the garment, because you don't want the garment to have holes just because of the pricing tag. So I'll typically find like a seam or the tag of the item itself if it has a tag. Once the rack is full, I steam it and then I bring it onto the sales floor for the opener to put out on the floor the next day. It's one of those jobs where you need to make sure that you have a very strong attention to detail, because I have had instances myself even where I tag the incorrect item with the incorrect tag. Maybe I miss a stain. All those things you want to make sure that you're paying very close attention to. So that's essentially the full process of what I have to do. I look through the items, I hang them up, I'll tag them, and then I'll steam them, and then I'll put them out on the sales floor. All the items that you see behind me are things that were brought to the store by consigners that day. Typically when I'm pricing items at the store, it's after hours because that's just what aligns best with my schedule, but they definitely have people there that are taking items and pricing them while the store is open, of course. I would say that beyond doing the inventory like I'm currently doing right now, I always had so much fun looking through consigners' items. It's always so interesting to me the different things that people bring in. Everyone's style is just so uniquely different, and where they shop from is completely different too. I can say that from working here, I've discovered a ton of new brands that I really never had any knowledge about before I was exposed to it, which is a blessing and a curse. But you all know that most of my wardrobe is in fact secondhand, so I feel a lot better about spending money on clothing if it is secondhand first. And like I said before, when I worked here, I did buy a lot of stuff. I can also say that working here taught me a lot about just like the fabric quality of different items because I got to hold every single item that came in through the store and essentially associate it with the price. I learned to have a good understanding of just quality pieces and the different types of fabric content that went into it. Now I have a pretty good eye for high quality fabrics and I can look at something and understand that it is something that is higher quality. So now I have a better eye for higher quality fabric and I typically gravitate towards those items. This is unfortunately where my camera dies. I did process all of the bins behind me. I can assure you there was a lot of great stuff in there, but watch again in the future because I did another shift here and I also filmed another video for that one too. So that was pretty much what I did my whole shift. I thought it was really fun. Of course, I can't show you every single little bit of every single thing that I do for privacy reasons. However, hopefully you got to see all the really cool secondhand items and had a lot of fun with me while doing it. I don't always get to work at that store, but when I do, I have so much fun while I do it and I'm excited for the opportunity to maybe do it again in the future. But before you go, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so you can follow along every single time that I make a new video, which is usually one time per week, but sometimes it's two, like this week was. It's like we could be talking about fashion together all the time, which I think would be really fun. You can also follow me on my Instagram and TikTok at MelGetsDressed, where I post daily fashion content there. So if you're ever looking for styling suggestions or just want to hang out while you wait for a new video to come out, that is your place to go. And thank you all so much again for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!